What's going on, folks? How we doing? It's your boy AJ here with you, here for another MLB The Show live stream. Thank you guys for joining us. It's the All-Star break. We got audio. That's good news. So we're coming at you, getting ready for tomorrow, as in Fridays, the start of the second half for the Yankees. They'll be taking on the Blue Jays at home. So we thought, what better time than to do a little live streaming right now. So with me, as was last time, is Audrey on the ones and twos, and we have a new special guest, Dan, who will be fielding your comments and questions. So please send those in. And of course, if you're having fun, as we hope you are, feel free to retweet, feel free to like, share, subscribe. We definitely want you to subscribe. And of course, here on YouTube and Twitch, it's not the only place you can get Yes Network. We're also on Instagram. We're on Twitter, which is actually down right now. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that, but having some Twitter outages. But you can still follow us there at some point. Facebook, of course, as well. And then you can get all the Yankees news you could ever desire at yesnetwork.com. So with having said all that, we've made our way here through the All-Star break in our franchise mode. I did a little tweaking, so I think our roster is actually going to be more or less closer to what we've gotten. We've had Edwin Encarnacion and Gio Urshela missing, but we've taken care of that. So without further ado, let's play ball. All right. In the home unis, home ballpark, clear skies. Might as well have Pax pitching.
Why not?
Against his country team. How are we going to do this? Who's, I guess, DJ in the top spot. Put Judge in the 2-hole. Gary 3. Hicks to break up the righties. Glaber, Didi, Edwin, Gio, Gardy. I like the look of that. Missing somebody on the bench, but that's all right. That's a good-looking lineup, if you ask me. All right. So it's been a little while. We hope you guys enjoyed. The last thing we did was our Yankees Legends versus current Yankees Home Run Derby, which you can watch on our YouTube channel. It was a pretty fun little thing we put together. Babe Ruth won. Not to spoil it. It's still fun to watch. But he battled. I think he took on Aaron Judge in the first round, or maybe Judge went up against Mantle, I forget, but it was Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, and Alex Rodriguez. Those were the Yankee legends going up against Gary, Judge, Glaber, and who's the other one? Edwin Encarnacion. So as we see Aaron Judge sign a few autographs before the game. Some good home numbers there for Pax. Like to see that. So let's get this puppy started. Of course,
Griffin
whatever.
Hartsurf wants to know, what difficulty do you play on?
I'm on All-Star, which is pretty much right in the middle. I've had somebody called me out in the YouTube comments last time because I had some sliders that were you know, the way that I like it, but they're all right down the middle, so you can trust there's no secret advantages. All is well. I didn't even look at the positions of where everybody was playing. I hope everybody's in the right spot. If not, we'll do some tweaking. Oh, get there. Yes, nice play, Edwin. For a big man and a no spring chicken, as Edwin Encarnacion is, he can move. He's got some wheels. He had a double in one of his first games since he came to the Yankees. He slid head first into second base. I was very impressed. So, speaking of impressive, this guy, little Vlad Jr., what a home run derby he had. Of course, he was the runner-up, which is just kind of funny since he destroyed every home run record or home run derby record, including a 40-homer round. His very first round that he ever tried, he broke Josh Hamilton's single round record of 28. He hit 29. Then he hit 29 again. But unfortunately lost to Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. But Vladito, only 20 years old, making it look ridiculously easy. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of dingers from him before his career comes to an end. Of course, the son of a Hall of Famer, Vlad Sr. Good. Oh, can't get to that one. I was just about to say, good start for the Bombers and Paxton, but on cue. Who's that? Sogard? His nerdy little glasses. Oh, well. All right. Let's get two. Let's get two. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm on All-Star. You know, I don't make any claims that I'm some super talented gamer here. You know, we just do it for fun. I know it's more of a baseball vehicle than a video game vehicle. But if you're here because you love to game, we welcome you with open arms. And let us know where you're watching from. We've had viewers from across the globe. We always like to build on that fun list. So if you're watching from outside of North America or even within North America, let us know where you're enjoying our streams from.
One guy wants to know your job title.
Okay. I'm a senior digital media coordinator. So got that senior bump, feeling good about it, but it's a great gig. It's a lot of multimedia stuff. Obviously, I get to sit here and play video games, so that's pretty sweet. But everything you see on our Yes Network social media platforms is I pretty much have a hand in it, making videos. I was going to tweet one out today until Twitter went down, but you can watch on Facebook. We had just a little compilation video of different starting pitching trade targets that the Yankees might be going after, including, of course, Madison Bumgarner, Trevor Bauer was in there, Zach Wheeler. So it was 5 starters and 5 relievers, all of which have been essentially rumored to be potentially on the move. So check it out, Yes Network Facebook. All right. Oh no, he made a bad throw. It's going to take him off the base. Just a complete disaster. Tried to get 2. That's not good. It's not what you want.
So we got some people here from Derby, Kansas.
Oh, okay. Kansas.
Angela Browning from Kentucky.
Nice. Kansas, Kentucky.
We got someone from upstate New York.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining in here on YouTube Live and Twitch. Oh, okay. We need this K right here.
Oh, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, nice. Let's get him. Let's pull the string on him. Oh, what is that? Didn't get to.
Mark W wants to know, do they tell you the team moves so you can make corresponding videos ahead of time?
As in like the Yankees, or?
I believe the Yankees.
I wish. No, we don't have that much inside knowledge, but we still obviously follow along with every roster move that happens, and we try to accommodate. But maybe someday the Yankees will be that, you know, concerned about my goings on at this live stream. Oh, that's a nasty pitch, but not quite yet.
We got some more from California, Boston,
Nice.
SoCal, Florida,
All right.
New Jersey.
Audrey on the controls is a proud Cali resident. I was listening to some Kendrick Lamar on my way in today. Of course, from Compton. Let's get him. There it is. Way to finish strong. Getting out of trouble. Nicely done.
Someone from Canada here to support the Blue Jays.
Perfect. Welcome, eh? Canadians must get so sick of the Canadian jokes. The A, the Maple, we do have Big Maple. But it's all out of love. I mean, you guys, you're our friendly neighbors to the north. And I personally love Canada. I've been a few times. Been lucky enough to go. But I'm definitely going to try and beat Toronto today. Here we go. All right, DJ steps into the box. Spits on the first pitch for ball 1. You know, the last Yankee game I went to in the ballpark was against the Blue Jays. In fact, it was when the Yankees broke the consecutive games with a home run record, and none other than DJ LeMahieu was the one that did it in his first at-bat. Made it to 28 consecutive games with a home run, which they, I believe, finished at 31 before. Is that right? Where the streak ended, they made it 31 straight games with a home run. I believe that's right. So, the Yankees just seem like the right team to hold that kind of record. They're a team built on power. They always have been.
So they call them the Bronx Bombers.
Exactly. Oh, checked up. No, sir. What? Are you kidding me with that? He was nowhere close to swinging. I get so stiffed on those calls. The checks down to the umps down the baselines, they're out to get me. And I don't appreciate it, frankly. But I didn't even get. He didn't swing through. It's ridiculous. Whatever. It's okay. I'm gonna have to overcome more than just the Blue Jays today. All right, a little late on that one. Let's get it going. Number 99. Oh, wow. Out in front. Changeup is my Achilles heel in this game. Let's shorten up a little bit. No, nowhere close. We've got Thomas Pannone on the mound for Toronto. For what it's worth.
Hunter told you to use zone hitting.
Okay.
Not sure what that.
That's, yeah, it's a different sort of style. Oh, get over his glove. Come on. Yeah, that's another way to hit. But I don't know. This is just how I've always played. You guys, of course, you're welcome to do whatever you'd like in terms of your own MLB the show showmanship. See, he was cheated over to left center. That's frustrating. That would have been a nice double, but the shift was in. Darn shame. All right, let's see. Sanchez, one of the 5 Yankees All-Stars, along with LeMahieu. I didn't mean to shortchange him, but it's LeMahieu, Sanchez, Torres, Chapman, and Tanaka. And CC Sabathia was also a big part of All-Star Week, so that was really cool to see. Of course, the game itself was in Cleveland, where CC began his career. He, of course, is in the final year of his 19-year big league career. Almost certainly going to go to the Hall of Fame after reaching 3,000 strikeouts, 250 career wins, both of which he did this year. And it was really cool. He got a chance. What are you swinging at? He got a chance in the game to go out from the dugout and check on Chapman, basically. Chapman eventually did get the save in the All-Star game, but it was a really nice moment for CC to take the stage there and get a nice hand from the Indians fans. So great to see that. CC just a consummate professional. Oh, just got under that, but that should have been sailing out onto River Avenue, but instead into the glove. What can you do? But, yeah, what were your guys' impressions of the All-Star Game or the Home Run Derby or the Celebrity Softball Game? Anything that really caught your eye? Anything that you'd like to see added to All-Star Week? I, for one, saw a really cool video from, I believe it was the Japan All-Star Game, where they do a bunt accuracy competition with targets around the infield, or it's like a bullseye kind of thing, and people just take turns bunting to see if they can, get it in the zone. I'm sure there's scoring involved, all that kind of stuff. But I love the Home Run Derby. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely the highlight for me. But I think it'd be fun, Maybe get a couple pitchers in there, some of the scrawny, slow, or not slow, but fast guys without power, test their accuracy. I would make a motion to do that, but maybe you guys have other ideas. Let us know. Packs just continuing.
What other Yankees, Chris Luis wants to know, do you think should have been an All-Star?
Luke Voit, 100%. I don't know how he got snubbed. That was brutal. I think that's, maybe Urshela. He's obviously had a great year on both sides of the ball, but his playing time's kind of diminished a little bit. The ones that were just, or the one in particular that was an egregious snub, but then they corrected, was Gleyber Torres. He was initially didn't make the All-Star team. which was kind of a joke. But then, of course, got into the game. So, but yeah, I think Luke Voit, to me, even though, of course, he was hurt at the, by All-Star break, he should be okay by the end of the break for all you concerned fans. But I thought he more than deserved it, and Jose Abreu, I don't think, deserved it over him. So, no shots at Abreu, great player, but Luke Voit, man. Would have been great to see him in the Derby, and, of course, deserving of the All-Star recognition. So, bummer for him.
Griff Rocks wants to know.
Griff Rocks.
He wants to know, who's your favorite Yankee?
Okay. Current or old school?
Why don't we go current and then old school?
And then old school. All right. I'm going to say, what's my favorite? I don't know. I really love Gary Sanchez. To me, the guy is like a generational catching talent. He is unbelievable. I think John Smoltz on the All-Star Game broadcast said that he could be one of the best catchers ever, and I don't think that's an overstatement. Jack Curry mentioned on one of the pre-games that catchers with 40 home run potential are as rare as they come, basically. And if healthy, Sanchez could put up 40 without question. He already is in like the top 5 in the AL in home runs, and he missed like 20 games or something like that. So, and with all the, last year, the rough year at the plate in terms of defense, and he hit 186, I think he's more than dismissed that. So, great to see him succeeding this year, an all-star year for him. So I like to see him succeed. Old school Yankees, I mean, we're going to go way old school here, but Ron Guidry was a cool guy. Let me just say that. I was going to use some choice language. I can't do that. It's a kids program, family program, so we're going to keep it clean. But no, Ron Guidry, legend. I mean, me and Matt Stucco, who's another must follow for Yankees fans out there. I'm sure you guys pretty much already know his work, but Stucco and I got a chance to do a really cool interview with Guidry this past spring training about his nicknames, Gator, which is the coolest thing ever, and then Louisiana Lightning, which was actually given to him by Phil Rizzuto. So that was a great moment. He's just like from a different era. I mean, obviously he was pitching for the Yankees in the 70s, won the Cy Young in 1978, had one of the greatest, good Lord, that was a horrible swing. One of the greatest pitching seasons ever, period, by anybody, was 1978. So look up those numbers. Just ridiculous. I think he went like 25-4 or something like that. Like a crazy ERA. Of course, had the 18 strikeout game. That's the franchise record. So.
Okay.
So yeah. So there you go.
Now we're going to switch over to Twitch.
Okay.
And Will ZYX78 wants to know, AJ, what do you think of MLB London?
Great question. And thank you again for joining us, Will ZYX. I'm really struggling with the bat right now. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was, I mean, the games were like 4+ hours each, which was kind of crazy. And there were, 50 runs scored between both teams in 2 games? Who should answer this question is actually a man that was at the London series, Mr. Basone, who's taking the question. So what were your thoughts, Dan?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
I thought MLB,
just a cool, unique event,
yeah.
obviously.
I thought MLB did a great job putting it on, and
cool.
Even though the game itself, the first game took 5.5 hours, and it was
so
very
long.
Hot in London, very hot.
So long.
It was a fantastic experience.
Yeah.
Just everything they did, from just the crowds and the people getting into it, and the food, and it all was just fantastic.
Excellent.
It was a great experience.
Did they have like ridiculous 3-foot-long hot dogs?
Yeah,
and stuff
they
like
did.
That?
They had
nice.
some ridiculous items, and they actually had this MLB fan event that you could go to that was near where we were staying.
Cool.
And you can go in there and you could take pictures, and you could
Very
throw
cool.
How fast you throw and
Nice.
things like that. Fun things for different fans.
That sounds awesome. Somebody suggested we get one of those speed pitch machines for the office.
Oh yeah.
Because we already have the Pop-A-Shot basketball hoop, which is great.
It's a must.
But it's we're the Yes Network, so
we got the basketball. Now we got to get the baseball.
Get baseball covered, exactly. And then maybe we get a soccer goal or something as well. But that was your London eyewitness report from Dan Basone, who is back with Yes Network. We're super stoked to have him. You'll see hopefully much more of him. He's joining the digital team, so thank you for your firsthand expertise there.
Anytime.
All right.
Chris Luis wants to know, who do you think the Yankees should pick up before the trade deadline, and do you think they will win it all this year?
Ooh,
Couple
wow.
loaded questions.
Love those questions. Love where your head's at. Who was that again?
Chris Luis.
All right, Chris Luis. Thank you for joining us. I think it's no secret the Yankees need pitching. I mean, Brian Cashman himself said it when he was in London for those 2 games against Boston. But I think I wouldn't be surprised, if this makes any sense, to be completely surprised by who they get. Like, it could be a complete random dude who's not on any of these lists, who's not, one of the highly expected players that will be on the move. Madison Bumgarner would be awesome, but I just don't know if they want to pay what he'll cost for just this rental period after the deadline. But if you really want to shake things up and put fear into the rest of the league in terms of, making a move that would echo sort of what Houston did for Justin Verlander, I think Bumgarner could be that guy. It depends who the Giants will be asking for, but I don't know. A name that I think is kind of interesting. I don't know if he's too similar to basically what Jay Happ was, but Mike Minor for the Rangers is having a ridiculous year. If you look up his numbers, he's like 8-2 with like a 2. I don't know. He has a crazy numbers, great strikeout numbers. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. More or less, he's 31, so he's not really old, obviously, but it's still a guy that's been around. So will definitely not cost you anywhere near what Bumgarner would cost too. So in terms of prospects and whatnot, but I think he could be somebody I would maybe keep an eye on. Obviously, he's a guy with AL experience, pitching in Texas. Stroman is a guy that makes, I think, a lot of sense. I think he, obviously he's been with Toronto. He's been very good. He's having a great year. He's got like a 3.18 ERA right now. Not a huge strikeout kind of guy, but I think he has. What is going on with these throws? I can't throw it on the money here. Throw it right.
Some people
it's
have
so annoying.
Been saying Mad Bum in the comments.
Yeah, okay.
Stroman. Someone brought up Luis Castillo.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a great year. What I've actually heard is possible Raisel Iglesias, their closer, move. He's kind of having a down year in comparison to previous seasons, and I think ideally the Yankees would probably want a starter versus a reliever, but at the same time you're going to use both. And when it comes to the playoffs, you're not going to need a rotation 5 deep, because you're only going to be using your top arms. So maybe that would make sense to get a reliever. I think it could be a starter and reliever combo, like a Stroman, Ken Giles, that's been sort of talked about. Trevor Bauer, Brad Hand from Cleveland, that could maybe just do like a double dip there. So it's tough to say, although they got Edwin Encarnacion for basically nothing, like one very mid-level prospect, and I think he has the ability. He's kind of gotten off to a slow start offensively, but he has the ability to make the Yankees lineup just something completely. Oh, get that ball! Oh, that was so irritating. It was a frustrating start to this game here. Everything's dunking in. I can't make throws for some reason. I don't even think I have a hit yet, but you know what? It's all right. That's baseball season. Not going to win them all. That looked pretty good to me. Strike one.
A lot of people want to trade away Greg Bird, which is understandable.
Understandable, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know if. I don't know if maybe if a team really fancied. Oh goodness gracious. If a team fancied Gio Urshela, as I give up a 3-run dinger there, that's very sad. Maybe you sell high on Urshela. You probably don't expect him to continue to bat 300. He's hitting it with power. But I don't know if that would affect the, the clubhouse mood. I think he's a pretty well-liked guy in there. Who's that? Smoke? Smoke is like the ultimate Yankee killer. I'm tired of it, frankly. Well, we've got a little bit of a hole now to dig ourselves out of.
What are your thoughts on Clint Frazier?
Give me these calls here. I mean, I'm a huge Frazier supporter. I think he's got all-star potential, no question. I don't know if he's trusty bench coach Kevin coming in. Hey, what's up? What's up? I don't know if he is going to be a trade piece that they would want to include for anything but like a Bumgarner level player. But as he's proven since he got into the majors, he's got every bit of talent that you would ever want. So young guy, great confidence. So we'll see. Is there some green screen problems? Trying to get everything figured out here. So you hate to see it. 3-run shot. He's a good guy though to come up and put some numbers on the board here.
The first baseman, Edwin Encarnacion.
It's all good. All right, Edwin. Let's take the pair for a walk, huh? How about it? Oh! On cue! On cue! Solo shot. Attaboy. That is what we want to see. Wow, his whole team is out on the field. What's going on? It looks like is it a walk-off in the 3rd inning? I don't know what's happening. The team is very excited. Maybe it's his first home run as a Yankee in our franchise. I don't know, but it's only the 3rd inning, so we still got lots of game to play. Wow, curtain call. This is really the all-star treatment here. Good for you, Edwin.
Do you think the Indians would trade Trevor Bauer, playoff team?
I don't know. It depends. It's tough. I think that was so weird, but
yeah,
I liked it.
The whole thing was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they might for the right price. Got a little too hungry on that high pitch there. I mean, I think coming into the season, they kind of were saying like, we could take a small step back in order to take a big step forward because of their depth with the pitching. Of course, now with Carlos Carrasco, who's dealing with leukemia, so shouts out to him, of course. He should be back by this year. He's actually already started throwing again, so great news for Carrasco and the Indians, but maybe that would potentially affect their thinking in terms of their rotation depth is not what they were hoping it would be at this point. But I think they might. I think especially if it included Clint Frazier, who's of course a former Indians prospect, so they know him very well. Maybe there's a chance.
Very wonky over here, AJ.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You keep playing.
Okay. I don't know.
Software is giving us.
Oh boy. It's always something. Always something to keep us on our toes. Oh, and if I had to tap out, you mean, or? Yeah. You may have to bring in the reliever. We'll see. It's all good. We got a run on the board though, so I'm happy about that. Oh, a little late. Nice play by the ball boy on the right field line. All right. No idea where this pitch is coming, but I'm gonna take it.
Was it a ball?
It was actually. So, well done. That was Kevin Sullivan, of course. Another great follow on Twitter if you looking for people to follow. Good take there. So what were you trying to figure out? There's some border issue or something on the thing?
Yeah. See below his waist?
Oh.
For the new border that was made.
Looks like a little dirt.
All right. Well,
Well, no, see how there's a black border?
Oh.
We got rid of that.
okay. Interesting. Oh. Well, regardless, thank you guys for sticking with us. We're trying to get this perfected, trying to get this figured out as best as we can. We hope you guys are still enjoying it. Computers, you know, am I right? Computers are always weird. DJ ropes one. What was the other question? Just we're talking about Clint Frazier? I forget.
The other question.
Lord, what are you swinging at, dude?
Do you think at this point, Aaron Boone is AL Manager of the Year?
That's another very good question. I think you gotta make the case for it. It's funny because, you know, if you were to read the Twitter comments and you know, about Aaron Boone, you might think he's a bad manager, but I would certainly argue the opposite way. As we all know, they've had every injury imaginable to almost every key player, and in the midst of all that, they are leading the East by 6.5 games over a very quality Tampa Bay team. So certainly deserves some recognition. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's a clear-cut other front runner that you would maybe consider. I guess Houston is doing well. Oh, probably the Twins manager, Rocco Baldelli. The Twins are having a crazy year, leading the Central by a pretty considerable margin as well. So fun to see a new team come out of nowhere to just kind of dominate, you know? So we like to see that. Oh, tried to turn on it. It's dead. Got it hung up on, or popped it up. Anyway. A very just enthusiastically received home run by Edwin Encarnacion. That was very funny, off the foul pole and right there. Yeah, we're good. I think we'll just rock with what it is.
It's all right.
We're trying our best out here, you know. We use the studio for so many different things. Tomorrow we're going to be back with another curtain call with Kevin and John J. Filippelli. So be sure you guys tune into that. 2 o'clock, we'll be coming at you with that. So there's lots of changes that have to be made in the studio in terms of setup. We use a whole different layout, so very versatile. It's a versatile space. Ball's really flying today. A lot of pop-ups, a lot of pop-outs, but I prefer that to the home run variety for the Blue Jays, of course. So,
AJ,
yes.
Any thoughts on potential MLB rule changes?
Yeah, I've heard there's been, the last one I heard they mentioned on the K Show is the possibility of stealing first base, which is very strange to me. I guess it's a minor kind of thing, but from what I understood, I haven't read in depth too much about it, but I think in the Atlantic League, which is like where the Sugarland Skeeters play, where the Somerset Patriots play, it's like an independent league. The MLB has an agreement to try a lot of these different rule tweaks and changes. So they're going to maybe try and, I guess it would basically be any point the batter can steal first. So on a passed ball, like on the first pitch of the game, they could. So it's an interesting, I guess, idea. To me, that's just a completely bizarre idea that I would not want. I have plenty of rant material to go on in terms of rule changes, things that I would make different in baseball if I were the commissioner. But to me, I would prefer the commissioner to just enhance the things that everybody already loves about baseball, that has been the reason why baseball has become so successful, rather than add weird rule changes like this that it's just like, what are you talking about? Like starting with a guy on second in the extra innings or after a certain inning. The 3 pitcher or 3 batter minimum rule for relievers I don't really like. it's not, you know, I don't want to sound like the old man on, you know, yelling at the kids to get off his lawn, but like baseball has been great because it has remained untouched. It is like the old school timeless game. I tune into baseball because it reminds me of the fact that my grandfather watched the same game and his father watched the same game for decades, and it's been great for more than a century. Now the baseball's being juiced is a whole other issue, which I don't really love. It's just weird. It's a weird, different game, and all the while, like, obviously some of the rule changes, the commissioner is very open about the fact that they've changed or they want to change. But with the juiced balls, I'm kind of getting off topic here. He remains steadfast that nothing is different or that he has to figure out what's different. But like that's such it's baloney. It's nonsense. He knows exactly well what is being done to the baseballs. It's no surprise. There's no question that the home runs are skyrocketing again this year. They're skyrocketing in the minors, and for him to just be playing dumb essentially and be like, "Well, we've asked our scientists and they've said that there's a little less drag, but they don't know what, and the balls are handmade, so each ones are going to be different." But like that's a lie. It's garbage to me. Don't lie to my face and then act like I'm crazy. That's all. Maybe that's how I was raised, but just if you're juicing the balls, just say we're juicing the balls. We want to see more home runs, so we're trying it out. That's that. But instead to be like all mysterious and silly about it, I don't know. I don't like it. It lessens the impressiveness of the home run. There's half the league has 20 plus home runs now, and like it's crazy. We're halfway through. It's the All-Star break. I don't know. Anyway, got off my soapbox there for that on the juice ball era in which we're living. But good questions. Keep them coming. We appreciate you guys on YouTube and Twitch. And we hope you're having some fun, even with our minor visual impairments there. But we're having some good times. Oh,
Chris wants to know again: can Stanton stay healthy, and will it become a problem in the future years to come?
I mean, he has had trouble.
Question.
He's had, especially this year, really has had like compounding issues. And you know, unfortunately, just based on the evidence, since he's been a Yankee, he's had issues with the injuries. He's not, of course, on the Jacoby Ellsbury, Greg Bird level, but he's an insanely muscular guy. Those are the types of players that tend to have strains and, you know, those things that can just compound and keep him sidelined. So ultimately, though, I think he's such an amazingly good player. Like, you can't just say, oh, the Yankees are better off without him, so trade him or whatever. First of all, that contract is going to be almost impossible to trade. It's a crazy contract with crazy money. But I think you just got to hope for the best that he's able to figure it out and come back. Maybe this offseason he'll do a different sort of regimen. But yeah, you definitely want to have him in that lineup. And I definitely want to score at least one run before this inning is over because we got a man on third. Let's see it, Didi. Let's see it. Nope. Way to look. We're battling against Pannone here. I can feel the tension. Come on, let's go, let's go. Fastball, curveball, changeup, two-seam. This is arsenal there. Oh, get down. Oh, it's not going to get down, but we're going to try and steal one here. Tagging up. Very well done. All right. Okay. Not ideal. Still got to run in. I'll take it. And you know what? I'm about to take the lead here with a 2-run Jimmy Jack. So everybody strap in. Oh, he wants another. The big fella. Maybe they'll give him another walk-off celebration if he hits another one. Not with that. Not with that. See, this is good. You don't always want a blowout. You want a nail-biter. Every now and then.
One person asked, or they're talking about it, any thoughts on the Rays and Montreal? That whole,
Sure.
that
Yeah,
whole
that's
situation.
quite a kerfuffle going on down there. I mean, if it's me as just a straight up baseball fan, oh no, he liked that. He likes that high pitch. I tried to maybe do another one, but it was a little too high. I say send him to Montreal. I mean, I like the Rays as a team. They got cool players. They play innovative baseball, but nobody comes to their games. Their arena is not the best, to say the least. It's actually the worst. Everybody hates it. It's just sometimes you just got to know when to just start from scratch. Start new. There's clearly an appetite for baseball in Montreal. They already have the Canadiens there, so there's pro sports in that city. They have the history, of course. There were so many great players that played for the Expos. Not that really comes into play in this question, but I would love it. I mean, having another Canadian team would be an issue for players having to deal with customs, but, like, who cares? They already have to go to Toronto, so, one more team's not going to kill them. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Yes. E with the wheels. So, yeah, I say move to Montreal. I guess you have that whole, since the Nats originally moved from Montreal, do then they lose their sort of lineage with that? I don't know. That shouldn't be the deciding factor, but to me, you want a baseball team where the people are excited about it. And I get, you could say the same thing about both Florida teams. It's just neither can seem to get a consistent draw no matter how good they are. I mean, the Marlins have won multiple World Series championships. The Rays have been deep in the playoffs a handful of times, so it's just something, I guess, about the territory. So, yeah. What do you guys think? If anybody out there has theories or suggestions, or maybe even, you can't rule out further expansion, too. Maybe they keep the Rays. I don't know if they will, but maybe they keep the Rays, add Montreal, and then add another team somewhere like Portland or something like that. Maybe Nashville. It could possibly happen. And then you could you'd probably have to restructure the divisions and stuff like that, but that happens in sports all the time. MLS expansion teams exist, NHL, plenty of expansion teams. So, NFL had them back in the day. Why can't baseball do the same? Anyway.
Someone said put a team in Charlotte.
Charlotte? Yeah. You could. They got the AAA, the Knights? I think they're the White Sox affiliate. Their ballpark actually is really sweet. It's like facing the whole Charlotte downtown cityscape or whatever, the skyline. I guess you could. There's plenty of sports fandom and mania down there. But yeah. I don't know if it's big enough, but that's at the same time they have, the Hornets. They got, I guess the Hurricanes are in Raleigh, but you never know. What city would you like to see an expansion team added? Let us know in the comments, and our guy Dan will shout you out.
Before we get into that,
yes.
Someone had wondering your thoughts.
Feel free to say their name too. You can
Chris
go
Luis
usernames.
again.
All right.
He thoughts on Andujar and his role next year coming off injury, and should the Yankees consider trading him?
That's
maybe this year before we get.
I mean, that would be a real dice roll because he was so good. I mean, he should have been the rookie of the year. If it was any other year in which Shohei Ohtani wasn't making his rookie season, Andujar was the rookie of the year. Many people, especially Yankee fans, still probably think he was robbed of that. To me, his bat plays so well, and it just from the get-go, like he's just a pure hitter, natural power, and you don't have to pay him anything for the next 4 years. I think that's the factor that would prevent or prohibit any sort of trade for him, unless the Nats call and say, we're willing to give up Scherzer, but we need Andujar. Then I'm sorry, you got to make that deal because you play to win championships. So Scherzer is pretty much the only pitcher that's like a possible trade asset. Although I think everybody kind of acknowledges Scherzer's not going anywhere. But I think you keep Andujar. You keep Urshela as a bench player because, you know, I think Andujar will be fine in terms of injury, coming back from injury. He'll have the entire offseason to have recovered. Can I swing at strikes? That would be nice. So, yeah, and I think he just has so much swagger, and, you know, he and Glaber are boys. I think that's your, you know, I think the bigger question is what do you do with Didi in terms of, do you re-sign him, or do you roll with Glaber as your shortstop, LeMahieu as your second baseman, and then Voit at first? So, I don't know. It's tough. Also, do you extend DJ LeMahieu? He's only making $12 million each year for this year and next year. Do you throw a reasonable, like a Severino level, like 4-year, $40 million extension his way? I don't know. Maybe it's too early for that. But to me, he's been everything you could ever want. We're bouncing all over the place with the Yankee stuff. But get down. Get down. Did that get down? All right. Seemed like he probably could have made that catch, but we'll take it.
But back to the expansion teams. So
Okay,
far,
yeah.
we just have it was North Carolina and Brooklyn. Bring a team back to
Ooh.
Brooklyn.
That would be epic. I would love to see that before I die. I don't know if it'll happen, but, you know, why not? That'd be sweet. I mean, they got the NBA team. There's people trying to build stadiums for either the Islanders or NYCFC. Maybe somehow, I mean, obviously those aren't baseball teams, but maybe they're some sort of way to build some super complex. I don't know. That would be awesome, though. And would you bring back the Dodgers as the name? I guess you can't, obviously, but
Having 3 teams in New York.
that
Like
would be,
in the boroughs,
back to like the 50s heyday there.
that would be pretty amazing.
There was a stretch, I forget when it was like 1948 to 1959 or something, where every year a New York team was in the World Series or won the World Series, and that would have been crazy to experience. But I like where your head's at. Whoever shouted out the Brooklyn suggestion.
Manuel Garcia says, move them to Mexico. Mexico has good stadiums and baseball lovers.
Interesting. That's
And
a
it's
very
not
interesting
that
idea.
far away.
It's, you know, if you can go to Canada, why can't you go to Mexico? I think that's a reason why they play these games. You know, probably we wouldn't see a team in London, but there's a hard hit ball. Are we gonna tie the game with this? I sure hope so. Oh God, he is dead. Right? Dang it! I knew that was the wrong decision. Oh, they're still having fun though out in the stands. I don't know what that dance move is. It's weird. It makes you uncomfortable. We're gonna fast forward. I'm sorry. That's bad base coaching on my part. I shouldn't have sent him. I knew once it reached the cutoff man and I was barely rounding third, it was gonna be trouble. So I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Should have had more faith in my offense than I did. Sorry, guys, but oh well. Sometimes you got. I'm a gambler out here. I like to risk it. And thank you, Dan. I appreciate your support. All right, we want to jam Vladito so he can't get extended. Get him up onto the thumbs. How about another? You're not sending this one yard, little Vladdy. Oh, he still hit it though. Right into the Aaron Judge's glove. Love it.
Lorena Neto says,
yes.
Hello, AJ.
One of our most devoted followers and fans. Welcome back. Thank you for having us. I believe from Brazil. So, yes. Hello, Lorena. This is a very personal shout out. I like it. All right. Pax throwing straight gas. I feel bad for Pax because he, I think, is unquestionably one of the many victims of this juiced ball era. I mean, he's given up more home runs, I think, or at least pace-wise, than any other season. I mean, Justin Verlander leads the majors in home runs allowed with like 26. That's crazy. And it's not because all of a sudden pitchers started to suck. It's because the balls are completely different. Imagine working your entire life. Oh, this is going to be a tough play. Working your entire life, being the best pitcher at every level you play. You sign a pro contract. You have all the pitches down that work against major league hitters. You're really excited. Maybe you're going to make an all-star team. Maybe if you're great, if you're Justin Verlander, you're headed to the Hall of Fame. I mean, he definitely is headed to the Hall of Fame. And then out of the blue, the commissioner just decides to change the baseball completely. And then you give up homers that you have never been giving up at any point in your career. I would be completely incensed and frustrated if I was a big league pitcher. And that's the other thing with all these rule changes. Every change seems to only benefit the offense. Whether it's starting with a guy in scoring position, stealing first base, juicing the baseballs, pitch clocks, like this all, it's like making it harder for pitchers to pitch just because everybody's so uptight about how long the games take. And of course, don't get me wrong, they take a long time, but rather than throw weird like playground rules into the game that have never been a part of baseball, just change it in a different way. My opinion, I say, get rid of commercial breaks. No commercial breaks. I know that sounds crazy, but instead of like a 3-minute long commercial break, I say you just keep the camera the whole time on the game. You on the third out, you watch the team run into the dugout, you watch the other team run into the field. You can still set up a little ad bar on the side or whatever, but with like no actual break in between innings, that would get the game going like crazy. And you're watching action the whole time. It'd be like Premier League soccer or whatever soccer. The clock, or you don't leave the game action at any point. You're watching 45 plus minutes of unfiltered action, and they still make money. Like, what are they? You can do it. It can be done. That's my grand approach. Rather than these crazy rules, like, stop, get out of here with that. That's my feelings on it. So I hope that becomes a thing that happens. I don't know if it will. Commercials and marketing and advertising remains a gigantic part of how these leagues make money. So anytime changes to those types of things come on the table, they're very weary about it. But excuse me, that's what I would do. Pardon me.
Someone want to know: is it true that MLB juiced the baseballs?
I mean, I mean, you have. I was honestly shocked when they went in the All-Star game. They had an in-game interview with Ken Rosenthal and Justin Verlander, and exclusively it was about the fact that the balls are juiced, basically. And to have that being like a real talking point on the national showcase of this sport, I think goes to show that this is an absolutely real issue that every player is acknowledging. I mean, just if you look at the numbers, you know, these guys, like Ketel Marte, great player, have absolutely no problem with him being an all-star, fully deserved. I believe he had 22 home runs in his first 4 years in the majors and has 20 plus in the first half of the season. It's just like out of the blue, some guy just becomes this insane power hitter with like 40 homer potential. I don't think so. So to me, and if you look at AAA, the numbers are exponentially rising. So I don't think there's any question the baseballs are juiced. Of course, Manfred has been asked many times about it and maintains that he doesn't know what happened or that nothing changed. It's just sort of a coincidence or whatever. I don't know. To me, just give it to me straight. If you change the balls, tell me you changed the balls, and we'll all move on. It's the juiced ball era. I don't know. I just want honesty from my commissioner, but.
We have an answer about why Edwin Encarnacion celebrated early in the game.
Oh, okay, yes.
And the show says it was his 400th home run.
Oh.
Hit a milestone.
All right. There we go. Wow. So good for you, Edwin. Love to see that. And thanks for that explanation.
Yeah.
Who provided that? That was...
Let me see.
Oh, bad pitch to swing at. Not great.
That was Steve Parrish.
All right, Steve, we appreciate you. Look at this beautiful baseball sunset here in the Bronx. Purple sky. What am I swinging at? Yikes. Got a reliever in now. Of course, Pannone had a pretty quality outing, I'll say. All right, we don't need to see the replay of me striking out. All right. Moving right along. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time to get back in the lead. Or in the lead period. Just taking a moment to gather my thoughts. Oh. Tepera's got some nasty movement on those breaking pitches. Should have probably been a little bit more disciplined, but sometimes I can't help myself. Anyway. Freddie Galvis is, the Yankees really don't need another infielder, but boy, is this guy having a great year. Switch hitter, can play short, second, amazing defense. I was very hopeful that he would have been a Yankees offseason acquisition, but instead they had to settle for DJ LeMahieu, who's not doing too bad. So, I, of course, saying that sarcastically, is almost the MVP frontrunner. Where's that ball, Blue? Huh? Where is that? That looks like a strike to me. Some inconsistencies with the zone here, but altogether, except for that one blemish, the one home run, been a very solid outing for Pax. Big Maple.
A lot of talk about would they rather see good pitching or good hitting? You know,
In this game,
No,
or in the All-Star game, or
just in general,
in the world?
It's just in
In
baseball,
life.
because they're
True.
talking a lot about the juice balls
Juice ball, yeah.
and how they prefer good pitching over good.
Yeah,
good
I
hitting,
think
or
I just think baseball is doing a disservice to pitchers, essentially. Like, you know, they shouldn't be penalized because they're so strong and so nasty. Like, instead, highlight that. Make that what's exciting to watch. You don't know if a home run is going to happen in a game, but you almost are certain that strikeouts are going to happen, get foul. Thank goodness. So explain how nasty James Paxton's cutter is, or his slider, or his 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and, like, let that be what you're advertising instead of, oh, there's not enough runs, so we got to make these balls rubberized so everybody hits them out. I don't know. That's just me. I'm a guy that loves baseball because I love the pitcher versus batter chess match on every pitch, every at bat. There's, you know, you're watching a mental battle, and if you know, I think I've said it on here before, but a routine ground out is not as exciting as a strikeout to me. A strikeout is cool. You have to strategize and execute and set guys up and, you know, fool them, deceive them. That's the art. That's the art of the game. Not just, you know, Barry Bonds every batter, you know, like, anyway, that's me. What do you guys think? I understand you're talking right now in the comments, but we appreciate it. We're figuring out baseball here, right here on this very stream, you know?
A lot of people are talking about the pitching mound, and did MLB lower the pitching mound in the past?
They did, yeah.
And maybe that had...
Maybe. I would much prefer to do something like that than, you know, allow people to steal first, like on a one, I don't know. Like, imagine how crazy that'd be. The first pitch of the game, a guy steals first. Like, that's not baseball. That's weird. It could happen if they wanted to make that change. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a traditionalist. Bring them up. There we go.
Someone said they don't care, but that the balls are juiced. The game we love.
Fair enough,
would
yeah.
have died a long time ago.
I mean, yeah. And maybe it's too early to see all the kids that are going to eventually become future baseball fans because all these guys hit crazy home runs, you know? That's it certainly happened in the steroid era. I remember I was a young chap watching the McGuire-Sosa battle. It was like the most exciting thing ever. So I don't know. I think there are other ways that you could enhance the game and market it better and let the kids play and, you know, let them wear jewelry and let them paint their bats neon green and wear crazy cleats. And you know, I don't know. I want to see a world in which baseball is at the same level as the NFL or stuff like that, or the NBA. But, you know, maybe it's just a sport that's it's different because it's so regional. There's, you know, if you're a big football fan, you kind of have a really good understanding of what's happening around the league, even for teams that you have absolutely no interest in. But I don't know if you can say the same about baseball. I think the same applies for basketball. You know, it's fun to watch Giannis. It's fun to watch Russ Westbrook, but I'm nowhere near Milwaukee or Oklahoma City, but those are two superstars. So maybe baseball somehow finds a way to figure that out. I don't know. But
Switching gears a little bit.
Switch them.
Thoughts on the Yankees farm system and the talent they have there? AAA.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna get the bullpen going up here a little bit. It's strong, man. I mean, there's it's kind of hard to you know, say who's the next guy up in terms of, you know, who will be the next hidden gem, the next Chad Green or whoever. Speaking of which, let's get him loosened up, and Britton, why not? I'm extremely excited about Davy Garcia's progress this year. He's basically the nastiest pitcher in AA, I would have to think. Just mowing everybody down. Actually, did he move to AAA, Garcia? I don't recall, so sorry about that, I forget. But if he did, it was only just recently. But 20 years old, strikes out insane numbers of guys. With a guy, he's small. Although he's taller than Marcus Stroman, who a lot of people are very interested in acquiring as the Yankees. But that's a guy who I would be really intrigued to see. Maybe he'll be called up in September. You never know. But he's certainly up there. The guy who you really got to be excited about, who maybe Yankees fans aren't fully aware of, is Jason Dominguez, who they just signed in the international signing window. #1 international prospect. He's 16 years old, from the Dominican. Switch hitting outfielder with so much power and speed and arm strength that scouts have nicknamed him the Martian. So if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. If you look at, I mean, it's like one of these, you know, mythical, there's just like the blurry YouTube videos that you can see as far in terms of right now. He won't be able to play at any affiliate level this year with the Yankees because of the rule with young international signees. They have to wait a year. So we'll see him next year. But he could be one of these like Fernando Tatis types, Ronald Acuna, Vlad Jr. types who could come and play in the majors when he's 20. And
looks like Davy Garcia got called up on Sunday.
Okay, cool.
This is great, just so you know.
Love it. Thank you. I thought I saw that, so cool. So yeah, Jason, that's Jason with 2 S's, so a little unorthodox. His father was a Yankee fan and named him Jason after Jason Giambi, weirdly enough, so why not, you know? Maybe he's the next Jason Giambi. He's literally been compared to Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout, and he's 16 years old. It's like insane. The Yankees gave him, I think, close to $5 million in terms of signing bonus, which is like huge numbers for a 16-year-old, so that just shows how much they think of him, and I think if he could be like generational, crazy superstar talent. And not to mention Estevan Florial, who's like 22, all ripped. Making another risky play here, but we get there. Way to go, Didi. Hustling from first to third. All right, we got a little something brewing here. Got to be smart. Good replays here. Waist high, belt high. Gio puts a good swing on it. All right, let's see it, Gardy. Playboy Gardy, come on. Lefty, righty, we got the platoon matchup. He's 0 on the day, he's due. 1 out. Oh, he's going to come up and in on me there. Okay, I see how it is. Oh, David Phelps on the mound, former Yankee.
What are your thoughts on Larry Rothschild? Do you think he's a good pitching coach?
I mean, I think he gets
That was
too
from
much
Sniper.
grief.
Sorry about that.
Okay, no. Oh, that was a pitch to hit right there. I get people, you know, their qualms with Rothschild. I think he does much more good than bad for that pitching staff. Oh, drop. Maybe this. All right. Hustle. Get on your horse. All right. Tie ball game. Another sac fly when we need it. Guy on third. I'll take it. If you look at the stats year after year, the Yankees are almost always up in like the top half of pitching, especially obviously the bullpen. I mean, you could say, oh, because the pitchers are so talented that how could anybody, you know, mess them up basically. But he, you know, it's a tough job. And not everything is just going to fall according to the script or according to plan. There's always, you know, oh, there we go. Well, I thought there was still a guy in scoring position. Never mind. There's always going to be unpredictability and ebbs and flows to the season, things not working out, you know, bad decisions or decisions that maybe were the right decision but that don't end up panning out. I mean, I don't think you can hang a lot of those types of things on a pitching coach. Of course, I know it's his job to study those types of things and what pitches work for players, which ones don't. Of course, you had the whole Sonny Gray slider debacle where the Yankees wanted him to throw sliders and it wasn't really his cup of tea, so he really struggled. And now, of course, with Cincinnati, he's been great. He was an all-star, so you can point to that and, oh my goodness, what are we doing? And you can say maybe Rothschild isn't a good fit, but I would disagree. I think if you look at the total picture, you know, with all they've had to overcome, guys like Stephen Tarpley. Sorry, I'm focusing. I got to make sure I don't screw this up. Go ahead, RBI knock for the Judge. Way to go. Attaboy. 4 unanswered. Let's keep it rolling. Sometimes a single will do the trick. Oh, there you go. He goes down and gets it. Nice work. And how about a little insurance? Just a little insurance. Ding dong from Gary. I'll take it. All right. My heart is thumping in my chest. Oh! Wow, that was a nice pitch to hit. Nice pitch to hit.
Point Blank asked you, do you see Gardy leaving next year for the Yankees to make room for Clint Frazier? If they still have him.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh, goodness. Wow. That was frustrating. That first pitch, that was my pitch. Couldn't get the barrel on it. Yeah, that's tough. The Gardner question entering next year. He's on a 1-year deal this year. Numbers aren't amazing. His power has been good with the home runs. I think that's probably he's benefiting from the juice ball phenomenon. What do you think? Should I go with Paxton? Nah, it's too much of a margin here. I'm gonna go to the bullpen. Let's not play games. All right. He's a veteran, of course, but stays healthy. I think he's only missed 3 games this year. Like, for a guy who's, fans were maybe like, oh, don't bring him back, we want Clint Frazier and whatever. Like, he's been a valuable piece, even if he doesn't hit 300, but he's got power. He's a lefty bat, which they have so many righties. He's just, you can roll your eyes or whatever, but the intangibles are off the charts with him. He is such a gritty leader. It's tough. It's a tough decision. I don't know left or right, which one I would make. Left or right, that doesn't make sense. I don't know which way or another, which way I would lean, basically, in terms of bringing him back next year, because, like you guys were saying, Clint Frazier is chilling, waiting in the wings. Eventually, Florial should hopefully get a shot, so you don't want to have, Gardy will probably be moved on by that point, but the thought of seeing Gardner play in another uniform, it just would be so strange to me. That's not a reason to not sign a guy or to re-sign a guy, but maybe you just sign him, to a really team-friendly deal. But it's tough because like you got Frazier's potential, I think, offensively is higher than Gardy's. But look at the defense. Look at A, Frazier's defensive issues this year, and B, Gardner handles left field like a pro. Can play center field. Arm was it's fine. He was never this huge. He's not like Aaron Hicks, who's got a cannon. But I don't know. I think you want a balanced team. You want a well-rounded team. You don't always want, young kids that have been unproven or haven't, Gardy's a champion. He's seen it all. He's been through many a playoff run. Even if the Yankees were to win it all this year, I don't know if that would guarantee Gardner saying, that's it, I'm going to hang it up. Obviously, we know Sabathia, that's the case, so he's a big lightning rod for why they want to win it all this year. I mean, they always want to win it all, but like, going above and beyond, Sabathia, sending him out with a ring, it would be perfect. Would Gardner consider maybe saying, you know what, I've done what I want to do in baseball. I'm going to go back to my farm and live a good life with my 2 rings. Maybe he considers that, but he still can play. I mean, he is not like a liability by any means. So
speaking of CC,
yeah,
he's I guess come out that he wants to be in the front office.
Yes.
Thoughts on that?
I think that's awesome. I mean, there were the Rothschild question reminded me of this because some people were like, oh, he should be the new pitching coach, but I believe he doesn't want to travel with the team, which obviously you can't do as pitching coach. You need to be there for every game, and I understand that. Has a huge family. He's got his off the field charities, the Pitch In Foundation, all that stuff. So I would think he would be really excited to get more time to do stuff with that. But I think he would be a perfect advisor, consultant, whatever. Carlos Beltran is an advisor. A-Rod is still, I believe, an advisor. He would be in that kind of tier where he can come to spring training, talk to the young guys, give his knowledge, and just be a great leader and a veteran that can help these young guys develop. What a hitting by Chad Green, by the way. Amazing stuff. So I think that's awesome. Good for him. I think, what a great position to be in, too, where you World Series title or not this year, CC's riding off into the sunset with milestones, a pretty safe Hall of Fame candidacy or campaign, and the opportunity to stay. He wants to stay around the team. He wants to be able to come to the stadium, but he doesn't want to have to fly to Anaheim after a 18-inning game if he doesn't have to or whatever. So, good for him. If you're the Yankees, why wouldn't you bring him in? He's more than earned it. He's been an amazing ambassador for their team, for the game. So, one big thumb up. You know what? 2 thumbs up. One for each C. Bring him back. All right. Just a hard hit ball. Right on the screws. By the way, I wanted to mention Daniel Hudson pitching reminded me. Jeff Passan wrote an amazing profile about Jason Dominguez, the Yankees superstar international talent. So check that out. Just Google those 2 names. You'll find it. It was on ESPN.com. He also wrote an amazing book called The Arm about just the Tommy John sort of revolution, and a lot of it had to do with Hudson, who's pitching on the mound right now. His sort of struggles with it, and then his recovery and everything. So Jeff Passan, great MLB reporter to follow. So Hudson's got fastballs, slider, changeup, pretty standard. I like to get a sense of the repertoire.
A few people have asked about Jacob deGrom and if the Yankees and Mets would ever pull off a trade.
Man, I mean, yeah, we had this whole this debate last year whether the Yankees would ever trade Glaber for deGrom, that kind of a move. I don't see the Mets doing that. Oh, that was such a good pitch to hit. Is that gone? Is that gone? No. Man. To the deep part of the ballpark. Just missed it. I don't see the Mets sending their best player across town. Of course, the history is known that the 2 teams don't ever really make deals, much less for MVP level, Cy Young level arm or players. So, of course, he would be an amazing, perfect fit on the Yankees. He doesn't even have a beard or anything. So, obviously, that doesn't matter. But, yeah, no, he's a complete stud of a pitcher. I think if you're the Mets, you should be listening to any offers at all from anybody because, you know, they're a disaster. They still maintain optimism that they can turn it around and whatnot, but to me, if I'm Brody Van Wagenen, if I still have a job by the end of the year, I'm trying to trade whoever I can for assets and for whatever, you know. I know they made all sorts of crazy moves this offseason to get Cano and Edwin Diaz and Jed Lowry, who I don't even think has played a game yet for them this year. So, but, you know, DeGrom, it would obviously completely decimate the fan base, I think. They think he's, you know, Pete Alonso now and Jeff McNeil are two emerging young stars that the fans are certainly excited about. But I don't know if you could spin getting rid of DeGrom unless you got just an incredible haul for him. So it's tough. I don't think he'll be a Yankee, though, unfortunately, for Yankees fans. As good a fit as he would be. Sometimes you can't always get what you want, but you do get what you need. So Rolling Stones once told us. 97. Wow, okay, Hudson. He's got some gas. Oh, and he took a little off of it. I was ready. Pulled the string. Back-to-back seeing eye singles there. Got a little rally going. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Actually, it wasn't back-to-back, right? Somebody just got out in between. Anyway. All right, Edwin with 400, looking for number 401. Give the Yankees a little breathing room.
Oh, AJ.
Oh, no, no, why? Oh, disaster. Disaster.
ADK
Yes.
Prodigy wants to know your thoughts on players mic'd up during the game.
Oh, ADK, welcome back. We love you. You the man. I thought it was freaking awesome. I thought it was really, really cool to hear. Yeah, I wanted the pitcher to have a mic and the batter so you could hear that. I thought it was great. The three Astros all being mic'd up, all talking about each other and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was really, really sweet. And I definitely think that's not the last that we will see of that. Is this smoke? He took me yard earlier, so I got to be careful here. Oh, this rascal. It's holding the one. Oh, he's got no speed. Okay. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have stuck with green. Let me figure out my bullpen warming up situation. Oh, it's the 9th. Oh, I wish Kevin was here because he'd be getting on me for not having Chapman ready to go. And I get it. I thought I was mixed up. I thought it was still the 8th inning. See, you gotta pay attention to the game, kids. All right. Let's just give Chapman a little bit more time to warm up. We'll pitch to Gritch here. Looks like they might be sending this guy at first. Oh, not that time. Oh, okay. That's what I like.
Andy Rod wants to know who will be the next starting pitcher the Yankees might try to get for next year.
In terms like a free agent pitcher or
a free agent.
Yeah, I don't know. We've certainly we've covered a lot of pitching, targets and that kind of thing. Oh no, son of a gun. I'm not sure. I need to refamiliarize myself with who's going to be a free agent this winter. But yeah, I think they still have Happ under contract. Obviously, they just acquired Paxton. Severino will be back. You would think Herman will be in the equation. Cece will be gone. Tanaka obviously still there. So I think that's your 5. Sevy, Paxton, Tanaka. I mean, that's when all healthy, that's as good a 1-2-3 as almost anybody has. So I don't know, you know, maybe they just kind of bring back some other relievers so that they don't have to rely on guys like Holder and Tarpley as much, or like Chance Adams. Those 3 guys have sort of struggled when they've had their moments. So it's tough to say, but next stream, I'll be back with a good answer. This is a sticky spot here. I really messed things up by not having Chapman ready to go. Oh, come on. My best case scenario is that he pops this bunt up. We catch it. Oh, he's not going to do it. Pressure is on. Oh, gosh. Goodness, scary. Yeah, saying keep it together here. So now he's not going to bunt. Now there's a 3-0 count. Oof. Nasty. That was a nasty pitch. Full count. Get in the zone, auto zone. Oh, why didn't I go 3? I should have gone 3. I wanted the sure thing. I don't know what I was doing, but that's all right. That's huge. That was a big-time double play. Again, I probably should have gone to 3rd. In fact, I definitely should have gone to 3rd. But we got the sure 2 outs. We're going to wrap things up here with the closer taking care of business. Right on cue. Don't you dare sail over the wall. What a game, huh?
What a game.
What a game. Down 3-0. We come back. Paxton battles, gets the dub. The team overcomes my shortcomings as a manager, my poor decision making. Chapman gets the save. Great day for Edwin Encarnacion, a milestone home run. LeMahieu multi-hit game because obviously Judge with a big RBI. I mean, this game had everything. This was great. We had tons of questions and great conversation topics from the viewers and followers. So we thank you guys. It's been a blast. I think I don't know when we'll be back next, but of course the Yankees will be back on Yes tomorrow night. Home game. I think it's a 6 o'clock pregame start. So make sure you're tuned in for that on Yes Network and Fox Sports Go. Next time also we're going to do another code 10-pack giveaway. We didn't get around to it this time, but next time 100% we will be doing that. So we threw a little trivia challenge in last time and was able to DM the winner. So it's awesome of Sony San Diego for hooking it up to us. So we thank you guys. But I think I'm going to sign off for now. Danny, Audrey, any closing remarks, thoughts?
Great game.
Good game.
Awesome.
Thank God you brought in Chapman.
I know. It was a little hairy at the end. I was worried I was going to mess it up, but we got it. Thank you guys again, of course. We appreciate your comments, your engagement, your interactivity, whichever. So keep it going. Make sure you share this video, tell your friends, subscribe, follow us all across social media. Follow me at AJ Herman, yes, of course. And we will see you guys next time.